some of us in here, we might be looked at, you're put on a pedestal. You might be put on a pedestal by your parents. You might be, your parents expect this from you or that, or friends around you expect you to be this certain way. What I'd say, it's hard. It was hard for me to cut that out. It's just, you be what God wants you to be, and you're not going to be able to please everybody in this life. And I've learned that very fast. Again, about change. If some of you have dreams and goals that you might feel are, you might think it's stupid. Look at the town I'm in, Sebastian. Well, it's not. If you have a dream, pursue your dream. A year ago, I would have never thought of Vancouver, Canada. That's another country. But now I'm going up there. I'm scared, but I know I have to go up there to get my goals. All of us in here, we have goals. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. You have God with you. You can do it. But also, you got to be. If it's not meant to be, don't lose faith in God. If I go up there and it's a disaster, I can't blame God. I can't go to my old self. I just have to realize that that wasn't meant to be. But if you have your goals, pursue them. Here in Oneighty, some of us, I know we're not perfect. I'm not perfect either. But the little ones I've learned riding on the bus the past 2 months since I got back to it, actually 3 or 4. I've learned that the little kids, they look up to you. That took me by surprise, because when I was riding on the bus with them all, because I look at me like, me? Like, these kids aren't going to look up to me, but they do. And I took that in. If they can look at someone like me, they can look at someone like you. It doesn't matter if you're 15, if you're 16, if you're younger. I'm be 21. I don't know if you think that's old. But we're all in this room.
Does that make sense?
We all have a purpose here, and who cares? I know this can sound a little cheesy, but in the movie, my favorite movie of mine is The Dark Knight. Alfred tells Batman, it's not that they might hate you for it, but you have to take on the name you are. He's Batman. We're Christians. The world might hate us for us, but we have a name. We have to represent God. We have to be Christians. You're gonna have people hate you. But that should make you feel good inside. You're doing something right. I mean, I came here. I remember my first memory when I was here. When I first came here, I was sitting out there. The kids in here probably 11. I was about 15 sitting out there. I wore my hat. And there'll always be something where a person came over, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Take your hat off." I just shook my head. I said some word I'm not going to say. And one of the workers comes over again, taps me on the shoulder, and I stood up. And I said, "I'm not going to take my hat off." And I used some words. But looking back now, from that being disrespectful like that to now, take my hat off. And I learned, it's funny, I don't need a hat. I've always worn a hat, always been quiet. It's because it's a shelter for me. We all have shelters in here. We have barriers over us. And I'm telling you now, get rid of that barrier, because the devil can use that on you, and he's used it on me. He made me a cold, hard person, didn't want to talk anymore, in appearance-wise. Back to change. I don't know a lot of people in here, but I'm not going to forget this place when I leave. And I mean this. It may not seem, I'm just a 21-year-old guy, but I based Riverside. It's like a home to me. And I'm gonna miss everybody here when I'm gone. I gotta do this now, and I hope what I'm doing, people in here can get the same kind of hope feeling that, do something that people might say is nuts, but do it. Go with your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you're worth nothing, because we all are worth something to God. Yes, my father cussed me out, told me I'm not worth anything. He hates me. But I know that friends in here, they care for me. My mom cares for me, but most importantly, God cares for me. I'm a young Christian. It's going to take a while. I put myself on this false notion of, like, you know, if I do something wrong, God's going to, like, curse me. And I was always afraid of that. But I realize now that that's not God. That's me inside of the enemy messing around. But all of us are worth something here. It may not seem like it in the church here, but God showed me I have a friend. This kid who looks up to me, good friend of mine. He looked up to me as a big brother to him. I never would have thought that would have happened. And now I'm leaving him. But just put God first in your life, and realize that we're going to go through hard times, challenges. It's not easy at all. You're going to mess up. We're not perfect. But don't fail on God. Don't fail on who you are as a person. God cares for you, and He's not going to stop. Non-parent.
JP, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Listen, this is really tough for him. All right? And he's done a fabulous job. And listen to what he says. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but can you really be honest with me for just a few minutes, so that way they kind of, when you first came here and that person asked you to take your hat off, your feelings at that point, what did you really want to do to them? Honestly.
I wanted to get up and use some words I shouldn't be using.
Was there anything else you wanted to do?
I wanted to beat the living crap out of him.
I saw that. Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys can remember back a few years ago when he started. He used to wear a camouflage hat, am I right? Camouflage jacket,
Green jacket, I was there.
Yeah, okay. And he's right. I mean, he would keep his head down. And there was anger, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but was there anger in your heart? Was it towards any particular person?
My anger started, like I said, I tried to say, kind of.
You did great.
My anger, I was put in anger management classes. The main root of my anger is my father. There's still unforgiveness there that I still haven't overcome, but that's why.
At that point, were you just pretty much angry at everybody?
Yeah, I didn't care who you were. I cussed him out all the time, but he still was there for me.
When did that anger start changing? I know that it's a lifetime process, but when did that anger start changing?
Started changing, to be honest, is when I saw how I was affecting my mom. And to be honest, my mom is a big, it's not even that, it's my mom, yes, but at the same time, coming through the church, I fought it out. I still came here even though I thought I wasn't learning anything, but after giving effort into this, my anger did. I'm a totally different person now today. I mean, I still might seem a little, stay away from me, but from back then to now, I've changed. And it wouldn't have been if I didn't have a close friend in church and me just finally giving it up. Yeah, I mess up still daily. I do the whole thing, but we're human.
Yeah. How do you feel now comparison towards then? In other words, on the scale of 1 to 10, your anger was?
Probably 11.
11. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10 now, how is your anger now?
To be honest?
Honestly.
Honestly, there's days where I'll get angry, I'll get a 2, but my anger doesn't control my life anymore.
And what is it about that you think has come to that? Why has that? anger come from 11 to where it's at now?
I've kind of changed. I guess it's changed, but it's not. I've realized things. I came to conclusions in my life that being angry, being this, is not going to get them anywhere. To be honest with you, all the drug rehab programs that put me in, the state put me in, all the anger management classes, none of that worked for me. Now, it might work for people, but it didn't. What worked was knowing that I have friends who won't let me down. Yes, people let me down, but as long as you have one true friend, Matt is like a brother to me. He stood there, and that kind of, I saw people really starting to care for me, and that kind of just broke me down.
Do you guys remember, some of you might have been in the class, we talked about love and the characteristics of love. Love is patience, love is kind, love is meekness, it's not boastful, it's not proud, it's long-suffering. All these characteristics represent God, okay? When we talk about that. Now, Matthew has God in his heart and in his life, and he represents these characters. He was patient, he was kind, he didn't give up. You know, maybe when he was cussed out, long-suffering. But when JP saw that, well, why isn't he giving up on me? There's something there that drew him. Okay? Now I want to tell you something about JP. Okay? I could tell he had a lot of anger. And I don't mean to offend you in any kind of way. And it was kind of scary. But when you, I'm serious. It was scary. It was scary, JP. No, it wasn't that. It's just that I saw something in him, and God said, he is so angry, but look at the way I see him. Okay? And a couple weeks ago, I saw a lot of what God showed me in your heart, and you, and what was there. He was angry. But I started seeing him take his hat off. I started seeing him raise his chin up. I started seeing him walk with his shoulders back. And he was walking with pride and dignity. I saw this young man come forth. And I'm telling you what, at Splash Camp, to see this guy, I tell you, the guy can dance, he can sing, he's good, he's a great athlete. I was out there watching him playing kickball and stuff. I know you don't kickball, but I'm telling you what, the guy has so many talents. And God's telling me, he says, this is my son. And that's what he told me. He says, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. Okay? I saw these kids, my grandkids, just love being around you. You make a difference, and you made an impact in that 1 week more than you will ever know. Because some of the kids that you made an impact, and some of the things that you're saying here, you need to listen. Because some of you are dealing with anger or dealing with drugs. And he's telling you, if I can do it, all things are possible with God. And all I can tell you, JP, is God has a plan for you. He has a destiny for you, not to harm you, but to help you. And you keep your eyes on God, because man will fail you. I failed my own kids, but God will never fail you. And he loves you, he loves you, and he loves you. And you are an awesome young man. And I can't say enough how proud I am of you. Not for Splash Camp or what you changed, but even for tonight, speaking in front of these young people and the impact you have made in their life is more than I could ever do, because you walked through it and you came out the other side. I'm so proud of you. And if I'm so proud of you, can you imagine how much God is proud of you? You did an awesome job tonight. Awesome job. The question though is you guys, listen, close your eyes. And JP, I'm sorry, but listen. I want you guys to examine your heart. Are some of you dealing with anger, disappointment? Maybe it's from your parents. Maybe it's from aunts and uncles, somebody that you looked up to